Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Good morning. Happy Saturday to everyone. Hope you all had a great Friday night. I know I did, man. That was a nice one. Last 2 days were very kind to me, and it was needed because Tuesday and Wednesday were rough. You probably heard me complaining about it, but then I bounced back. I had a nice Thursday and then a very nice Friday. So got all those losses from Tuesday and Wednesday back. You got to love it. We got a lot to go through. Two WNBA, 15 MLB. Then we're doing the UFC card. So that's what's on the agenda. Here's Chris here. Chris, what's up, man? How was your night? You're muted?
Cal, can you hear me?
Now I can.
What's up, dude? Pretty good. WNBA didn't work out as well. I think everybody on the show loved Minnesota and the Sparks to go over yesterday. They finished
not everyone
under.
Not everyone.
Well, over.
Oh, I thought you said no, my bad. Okay, go ahead.
No. I think who was it? I think it was Rob said he'd probably take the points with the Sparks. It was 13.5 and then probably a letdown spot after two big wins. And I agree with that, but it's really difficult for me to want to trust them on the road. So just went with the over. Minnesota scored 14 points in the first quarter. It killed the over for the game, and they still only went under by 3 points. So yeah. Outside of that, we talked about under yesterday. Still got there. More so Boston team total under.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's right. You liked the under last night. Okay. Yeah, but how about I had Dallas. Let's go.
You did. Oh wow. Yeah, Boston literally could have just got on the plane after game 3 and went back to Boston.
Right.
They did not show up last night.
Just forfeit.
Yeah.
Just like, we'll see you in game 5. All right, so we got Connecticut on the road in Dallas. Dallas catching 7 points at home here. It's a big number for a home dog. I mean, Dallas, this isn't the Mystics. Dallas isn't that bad. Right?
Dallas is that bad, Kyle.
Oh wow. Okay.
So if I'm playing, I didn't play the game. Full transparency, I always am. If I am playing the game, though, I am looking to fade Dallas continuously. They've lost 5 straight games in a row, and a lot of it has been I've continuously said this: no Natasha Howard, no Satu Sabli, and now Connecticut is actually number 2 in the WNBA, Cal, in net rating. So the way the WNBA works, there's like this hierarchy where you're either like one of the 4 or 5 best teams, or you're just like a bottom feeder. And that's typically what we see last night. That's typically what we see, especially any team that's playing against Connecticut. They have the rest advantage here. One day, Dallas plays at a really fast pace. They're 6th in pace, which is actually slowing down just a tad bit. And they're the 3rd worst defense in the WNBA as well. Like I said, Dallas has lost 5 games in a row. And they've given up 83 points or more in 4 of those. So I like the Connecticut team total over. I know I keep continuously talking about this, but if Dallas is going to play fast, I like them, to be able to score the basketball. Also, when they played earlier this season, Kyle, this was the game where you took Dallas. I don't know if you remember this. You took Dallas on the money line against Connecticut, and they lost that game 74-72 back on the 31st. They were 8.5-point dogs in that game. But Connecticut, I look back at their game, Connecticut shot just 2 for 10 from the 3-point line. Not that they're the greatest 3-point shooting team, but they scored 74 points, and they also missed 10 of their 24 free throws. I think we just see a Connecticut team that's locked in here on the road. They also have a lot of matchup advantages. They live in the paint. They make and take the second most shots in the paint. Dallas gives up the second most makes and attempts. And it's crazy because they have a lot of size. Kalani Brown, Tiara McCowan. But Dallas also gives up the 3rd most offensive rebounds. Connecticut is the 3rd best offensive rebounding team in the league. And then you talk about turnovers because the Dallas Wings don't have a true point guard. Connecticut forces the 2nd most turnovers. Dallas turns the ball over at the 2nd highest rate. So a lot of ways I think Connecticut should be able to score. I would be looking towards the Sun, and I would also be looking towards the Sun team total to go over. I think the number is 81-82.5.
We'll say 81.5, somewhere around there. All right, so if he's betting this, he would lay the points with I almost said Phoenix, with Connecticut and take the Sun team total over. No, we're not betting the Phoenix Suns ever again.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That was terrible. I mean, the NBA playoffs, if it wasn't for the Phoenix Suns, I believe I'd be over 500. Just 0-4 in that series just really puts a damper on things. So New York. Oh shit, good game here. Liberty.
Really good game.
You don't see the Liberty catching points very often.
And you don't see the Aces land just 2.5, whatever the current number is either. They typically land a lot more at home. This is the shortest line that they've had all season, which sets up for a really good one here, Kyle. I like the Liberty. I'll take the road dog in this spot, man. You have a lot of different things going in their favor. First, I'll talk about is the finals revenge. These teams matched up last season in the WNBA finals, and it was of course the shorthanded Las Vegas Aces who ended up winning in New York at that. But since then things have kind of changed a tad bit. You get an Aces team this year that has looked just very, very stagnant on the defensive end. The defense has not been good for whatever reason. I think that they are the 8th rated defense right now, and this Liberty team, they're number 1 in offensive rating. They also are coming off a really big win against the Connecticut Sun, gave the Connecticut Sun their only loss so far this season. So their offense is humming. New York actually ranks number 1 or number 2 in restricted area field goal percentage, paint field goal percentage, mid-range field goal percentage, and left corner 3 field goal percentage. And like I said, the Aces defense is falling off a cliff. They just gave up almost 100 points to the Phoenix Mercury, which is a good offensive team, but the Liberty's offense is a lot better. So I like the Liberty team total over as well, Kyle. 85.5 is the number if it hasn't moved since this morning. And I like the Liberty plus 2.5 here. The other thing I want to mention really quickly is the rest advantage spot. So the Aces were down big in their last game against the Phoenix Mercury just 2 nights ago. They were playing in Phoenix. They got down like 28-12 at the end of the first quarter. Battled all the way back to win that game by 4, but didn't cover. They beat Phoenix 103-99, and this is going to be their 4th game of the week. The New York Liberties played 1 game since Sunday, so you get a much rested team with major playoff revenge from last season. And they're playing against a struggling defense right now.
This was the finals last year, right?
This was the finals last year, yeah. So yeah, I like Liberty team total to go over, and I'll take the 2 points with the Liberty here to knock off this Aces team that's just not playing a lot of defense right now. Really difficult for me to want to fade the Aces. Haven't really want to jump in front of them too much this season, but I'll do it in this game because the Liberty has been playing that good of basketball. I do think they're the best team in the WNBA right now.
Right, and I know you look at the graphic here on the left, and you see New York Liberty 5-8 against the spread. But remember, they were 1-7 at a time, which means that they're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, if my graphic's correct.
Yeah.
Which
and
I think
a lot of those, Kyle, has been them laying double digits at home when we were fading them. I think they started off like 1-6. A lot of those lines were them laying a boatload of points, 15.5. So if I can get them as a dog, you could get them as a dog last week against the Connecticut Sun, and that was a game that they ended up winning by, I want to say, double digits or close to it. So yeah, I'll just take them. I think the Aces run out of gas here late, and the Liberty in a really good spot to get some playoff revenge and kind of keep it moving forward.
Helms in the chat says if Chelsea Gray plays, he's taking the Aces live. Is her status in question here, I guess? Yeah,
so she was listed as questionable for the first time in that game on Thursday night. Didn't play though, and she's listed as questionable again here as well. I respect Helms a lot. Helms comes through my chat as well. I disagree with him here. I say that to say this. I disagree with his opinion here because I think if Chelsea Gray comes back, granted, I think she's probably the best point guard in the WNBA, but if her first game is against the number 2 defensive team in the league, I think she just kind of throws off the chemistry in her first game back. So I wouldn't like it as much. I would actually like the Liberty more if Chelsea Gray comes back, because I think defensively she'll be a liability in her first game back on the floor this season.
Cool. All right. Fading Helms. I'm down for it. I actually just added Liberty to my possible bet addition list, so I might be jumping on Liberty.
Who is at the top of the list? Is it Helms or is it
Estot's the ultimate fade. Helms I think went 1-4 this week in the league, though. It was a rough week for Helms. So I'm down to fade Helms as well. All right. So our poll's all over the Liberty too. So as far as the viewers, they're with you.
Let's get some cash tonight. Appreciate you, Calvin, having me on as always, man.
Yep, for sure, man. Have a good day.
Best of luck, you guys. Best of luck to the community as well. I'll catch you later, Cal.
Later. Let's talk some seam is right. We were talking about this morning. All right, so I told Toast 11:45, so we have 5 minutes. I'll get the poll going and all that. We talked about this morning. Let's talk seam. Is that a thing? Prop Beaver made that up, right? When Prop Beaver said it, that was the first time I ever heard it. But I didn't know if that was a thing. Has anyone ever heard that before this show? Let's talk some seam. You don't know seam? Yeah, everyone's rooting Gab. You know what? I'll bring up the bracket so everyone can see. Gab is definitely the fan favorite. Everybody is rooting Gab in the playoffs here. Let's bring it up. Here it is right here. First one. I got 50 of these. Ready to be mailed out on Monday to the winner. 50 of these lined up. But you know what? I ordered 50, and then I realized in 3 months I'm going to need a football. I'm going to need one to order more because I need a football on top come September. So probably should have thought that through. But whatever. I got base. Yeah. I got basal ones for days. Here we go. So here is the playoff bracket for the first ever playoffs for the league. Gab is up against Charles Selman, who has the most units earned this week. So that should be a good one. What do you have to do to get in? It's just on the website. It's playoffs on the weekend. The new one starts Monday. It's a new league every week. $100 and a trophy to the winner. So just Monday. You have it's usually around 1 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern time, so you have about 11 hours to get your picks in for the day. Someone says, let's run the community parlay song on loop for 5 minutes. Okay, Beef Belly said they said seam on ESPN, so Prop Beaver did not make that up. How do I get in the Discord? Last time I checked the website. I mean, there's been a link up there for a while, but when you sign up to Sauce Network Plus, you get an email that has the Discord link in it if you want to join. All right, it's 3 minutes till Toast is going to get here. Good morning, Annie. Oh, Toast, I am coming. Gab, listen, Gab, you're playing with house money. No one expects you to win. I would say Charles Selman, heavy favorite today in the 2C versus 3C battle. On site, I have access to dashboard and upgrade stats for inch game. Not 100% sure what you're asking. Yeah, Nick Johnson. I eliminated Nick Johnson. If Nick Johnson beat me yesterday, he would have made the playoffs, but I got the win. Had a nice Friday. That's what everyone's saying. Is they don't care about the $100. They just want the trophy. I found a website. This is like $4.20 each for these. These are like cool little trophies, man. But yeah, this is just the first week of it. I have grand plans for it. My vision is in the future, handicapping is going to be like its own sport or like a full-on league. Just it's hard to explain and put into words, but this is the first step towards that, where it's like people. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I heard the monster crack in my ear, which means Toast is here.
Good morning.
Oh, shit.
Not a good morning, but it's morning.
Do you have to get a credit card, debit card, or join Discord? No. You. Well, just hit me up on the website. We'll talk after. All right. Oakland, Minnesota.
Well, kind of, because you have to pay for it online.
But you can use PayPal. So,
okay.
But
anyway.
Oakland, Minnesota is up first. Joey Estes, Bailey Ober. Obviously, at this price, I would love to fade the Twins, but Bailey Ober. So a couple thoughts on this game. Bailey Ober, who hasn't, I'd say, would you agree with the statement that Bailey Ober's season has been disappointing so far?
Yes.
Because I think people were expecting him to take a big step forward this year, and he really hasn't. His numbers look about the same, even maybe a little worse than last year. But one thing I did notice about Bailey Ober, and I have it right here. So against bad lineups, he's actually been good. He's thrown 30 innings against bottom 10 lineups. He's got a 3.30 ERA and an 0.90 WHIP. So he's gotten lit up by good lineups. But here he is at home against Oakland, which we know Oakland on the road, not a good lineup, not a lineup you can rely on. I think if there's ever a spot for Bailey Ober to pitch well, it would be here. And then the Twins bats. Are the Twins back? In the last 14 days, it's a top 10 lineup. Top 10 lineup against righties in the last 14 days. So I didn't bet this one. If I would probably just go right here with it if I was to bet it. But this will be a pass for me. Twins -1.5 for a pass.
Yeah. It'd be Oakland first 5 for me or pass. I'm not betting it, but again, no chance in hell I lay with the Twins in this spot. And yeah, I can't pay that price for the Twins right now. There's no chance in hell. So I didn't bet this game, but I would play Oakland first 5 or pass.
Oakland first 5 or pass. You just have no faith in Bailey Ober.
I have no faith in the Twins in general. I heard you on that. Especially after yesterday winning in extra innings, I can see them coming out flat here. That would be so Minnesota Twins baseball.
So communities on the Twins, 54%, 28% on Minnesota.
Plus, I wonder how many times Minnesota's won 3 games in a row.
Cards, Cubs. Cards. So I actually skipped right over this game. Didn't look at it. Didn't care to bet it. I personally think Imanaga's a fade, but this Cardinals lineup, man, they just never seem to show up for me personally. So I have no faith in them based on the fact that they just don't seem to show up for me when I bet them. I'm not the biggest Imanaga guy. I think his stock would be in sell mode. We've seen him look shaky recently, but I don't know. This is a straight pass for me. I mean, I think at this price it would have to be Cardinals, but no way.
It would be. I would try to get Imanaga in the first 5 if I had to play this game. Let's see what it is right now. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
How's the first 5 run liner pass?
Yeah, I mean it's at -125 on BetMGM. That's not terrible, but if anywhere else, it's into the 140s. But he looked really, really bad his last time at home against the White Sox. And his previous 2 starts again at home prior to that White Sox blow up was Pittsburgh and San Diego, and he went 14 innings and gave up 2 runs. So it's just laying that price with the Cubs team that can't hit their way out of a paper bag. So yeah. And not to mention the fact that Andre Palante hasn't even been terrible for them. I mean, I know he had a blow up in Houston, but his other 2 starts against weak lineups, he was pretty damn good. So I'm not at a spot where I think that the Cubs are just going to be, or I can guarantee in my head that the Cubs are going to put up a couple runs off of Palante either. So yeah, there's no way. I just can't pay that price.
I'll put up this graphic for me because I guess if you put a gun to my head and force me to bet this one, I would go here under, but not betting this crap. I do have bets open, but I think I start this slate off with 3 or 4 straight passes. I do have some bets coming, I promise. So the community on that one. Oh, where'd my results go? Oh, we'll find out in a second. Here it is. 48%, 27%. So community likes the Cubs. They like Imanaga. I'm not the biggest Imanaga guy personally, but Cleveland, Toronto. And so I put, and this is another pass because I didn't know who was pitching for Toronto until the last minute. And I still don't even know. Is it definitely Trevor Richards?
I mean, that's what they say. That's what everything says. So, I mean, as far as what I see, so
I mean, how would you not just go right back to Cleveland at plus money? I'm not going to play it. I got my Cleveland plus money yesterday. I don't feel like I don't need to push the envelope there. It is Carlos Carrasco on the road, and he's been terrible on the road. And part of the reason I liked Cleveland yesterday was they had a lefty on the mound. It wasn't so much betting Logan Allen. I was just fading the Blue Jays lineup against a lefty. Not that the Blue Jays lineup against righties is any good, but Carrasco on the road, I could see Toronto getting it to him. So this will be a pass for me. I mean, with these 2 pitchers, maybe this. Maybe an over, but no chance. Especially since we saw a low-scoring game yesterday. Yeah, you know what? I actually don't even hate an over. I'm not going to bet it, but
it would be Cleveland or pass. I mean, it would be a sneaky spot to try to get with Toronto right now. I mean, I don't really know what to expect from Richards, but you're going to have essentially a full bullpen behind him that hasn't been used yet. And with Cleveland, I'm not betting Toronto, but Cleveland did use, again, they're going to be available today, but they did use essentially everybody in their bullpen, their top 5 or 6 arms in their bullpen yesterday. Again, they will be available today, but, Toronto did just see them and stuff. So that's a little bit of an advantage towards Toronto as well. But I couldn't lay juice with Toronto right now against this Cleveland team right now. So it would be Cleveland or pass for me as well, but I didn't bet this in.
Yep. And
Carrasco's got like really good numbers against Toronto, but again, it's been a while ago.
Yeah, no. Carrasco's old numbers. This is a different Carlos.
I mean, he hasn't been that bad.
So 68%, 22% community likes Cleveland. Let's go. All right, Philly, Baltimore. Didn't bet this game, but I'm down to, and I want to talk about it. I knew this was one we were going to have up on the screen for a while and we were going to talk about, so I held off on the bet. Obviously, first reaction, looking at this one, how do you not like the Baltimore Bats to get to Taijuan Walker? I mean, he's been really struggling this year. Baltimore, I mean, if you remember, the video I uploaded, I said I liked the first 5 under. I didn't actually bet it, but part of the reason was Phillies had Ranger Suarez on the mound. Baltimore against lefties this year, really, it's not 2023. Baltimore's been crushing righties this year, and now they get a shaky righty making a road start where he's historically worse. I mean, on paper, we should be able to count on the O's for 6 runs in this game. So my initial reaction is either A, Baltimore team total over, Baltimore first 5, somewhere in there. I'm down to bet this. I haven't yet. What I was looking to hear your thoughts.
I played Baltimore -1.5 last night at, let's see what I got it at. +116, and it's +114 now. Probably play the Phillies, guys.
So
that's what I would say.
What are your thoughts on the Phillies bats to Grayson Rodriguez? You think he should pitch well?
I bet it thinking he's pitched well, but it looks like all the money in the world. I mean, it's just the same thing as the Padres and the Mets yesterday, so I wouldn't tail me on it. But yeah, I did bet Baltimore -1.5. I expect Grayson Rodriguez to pitch well, but looks like all the money in the world. That line's not moving for 1 second. So, I wouldn't tail me.
Okay, so what about this? Because here were my thoughts. Because obviously, on paper, Baltimore -1.5 is the play, based on the matchups, based on the data we have. But this Phillies team continues to defy data, as in some aspect of the game will go their way. And I could see the aspect that goes the Phillies' way, meaning if Baltimore screws this game up, the Phillies steal this one, I think it's going to be because Grayson Rodriguez lays an egg. So I'm going to bet this. Let me put it up on the screen first. I have it open right here. You can get -105s on DraftKings and Fanatics. Baltimore team total over 4.5. That way, if Grayson Rodriguez lays an egg and the Phillies steal this one at the plus money, at least I should still be good because they should definitely get to Taijuan Walker. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So I'm adding that to my list. Baltimore team total over 4.5. Okay. O's -1.5, O's -2.5, O's team total over, O's 7-3. Yeah,
great.
We're a Baltimore community today.
This is I'm telling you guys, this is the same situation as San Diego. I told you guys, I bet San Diego yesterday, and the Mets will win. I hope not. I hope every single person in this show bet the Mets yesterday and cashed out because I'm telling you, it's the same exact fucking situation.
All right, next. Angels, Giants. Okay, so I went back and forth on this one. This is kind of a fun game here. So I don't know how much faith you have in Keaton Winn, but I don't have much in him. And
I didn't even spend 2 seconds of this game.
Oh, okay. Then I'll talk. Okay. Because I did look at this one. And All right, so I have been on the show and on YouTube saying for a couple weeks now, I've said this phrase a bunch of times. The Angels are the worst lineup in baseball against righties. I don't know if that's true anymore. I think I need to stop saying that because, you know what? Let me pull it up. 1 second. Angels against righties. In the last 7 days, they're second. Actually, can I get it on the screen? 1 sec. I think I can get it on the screen. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Let me shrink this a little bit. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. Saturday morning, I'm in the office by myself, so I'm kind of scrambling to get everything ready. Okay. So, Angels right here. Can you see this? Yeah. Angels right here. Last 7 days. Second, third, and second against right-handed pitching. I mean, Slate Shoshone got to him. Verlander, 4 runs off him. And I know they didn't get to Brandon Pfaadt, just 1 run, but that's 9 base runners in 6 innings. So, if the Angels' bats are no longer dead against righties, Keaton Wynn's been getting lit up. So, I think, and now you're thinking, oh, Angels. No, I'm thinking here, and I'm down to bet this. Come on now. Where the hell is it? Damn, where's my freaking graphic, man? All right, I'll type it. Come on. I'm thinking over. Total's down at 8, understandably so, because of these 2 lineups. But I think the Angels could get a couple off Keaton Wynn. Sandoval's been pitching pretty well, but the Giants have been hitting lefties. And even if Sandoval or Keaton Wynn are able to come out here and throw a gem, the Angels' bullpen's terrible. So I think over 8, I want to bet this. I'm putting it on the list. Over 8 for me. All right. Next game. Marlins, Nats.
Pass.
You don't like this game? All right. So this is my I have a lean in this one. This didn't make the ticket. I do think this is going to hit though. Okay, so my lean in this game is sorry. It's way back in the beginning. Come on now. Where is it? There it is. Okay. First 5 under. It's up at 4.5. I mean, I could describe this bet in 2 sentences. Sentence 1, the Nationals can't hit lefties. Sentence 2, the Marlins can't hit anybody. So they're giving us a 4.5 with 2 terrible lineups. I know the Nats put up a bunch of runs yesterday. That was against a righty. I think Trevor Rogers will pitch well, but I'm not going to bet the Marlins and rely on the Marlins bats. I think everyone's looking at the reason we're getting a 4.5 here is everyone's looking at the ERA of the 2 starting pitchers. But we also have to take into consideration what kind of lineups we're dealing with here. And I'm not betting this. This didn't make my ticket, but I did consider this first 5 under at 4.5.
Yeah, this is a straight pass for me. So I have no interest in this game in any way, shape, or form.
All right, community definitely likes the Nats. 61%, 28.
I was just about to say, yeah. It's rather, yeah.
There's some people in the Discord I think are playing the fish. Some people were talking earlier that they like the Marlins. When I woke up and was making my coffee this morning, there was a Marlins discussion going on. All right, Rays.
Well, because Trevor Rogers' last 2 starts on the road, he hasn't given up a run or 1 run or whatever.
There you go. First 5 under. Rays, Braves, and there's no way. I mean, because you know what? I looked at this game and I wanted to play the Rays, so I was like, nope. Pepio's been pretty good on the road this year. Are we willing to declare the Braves bats out of their slump? I don't know. I'll put the Rays up, but no, not after what happened yesterday. This is my only loss yesterday. Was the Rays money line. So I'm not even going to try it here. It'll be it's Rays or pass, but it's emphasis on the pass.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh no, my God, I'm sorry. I ended up placing a bet here. What am I talking about? I'm on the under. I got it at 9 at -120. because I like the Rays, but I couldn't trust the Rays bats. Now Pepio's, wow, just brain fart there. So let me get it up. Okay. Pepio. You know what? Let's bring it up on the screen. No, I can't on this one. It's on the other side. All right, ready? So Pepio's made 3 road starts this year. He's got a 150 ERA, 0.61 whip. It's not a ton of, not a big sample size, but he's been better on the road. His last home start, his road start, he did give up 3 runs, but he only allowed 6 hits in 6 innings, no walks. So that's an even 1 whip. I faded Pepio in his last start at home. He was up against Baltimore, but the Braves, as we talked about before, they haven't been hitting righties. So maybe they're back, but I'm going to need all the way up at 9. This says 8.5. I got it at 9, and I think you can get it at 9 now. I think this game could be 1-0 after 5 innings. So getting this all the way up there, I'm comfortable with it. I really want to bet the Rays is what I wanted to do, but I thought I could fade the Braves bats one more time without having to rely on the Rays bats. Those are my thoughts.
I played Rays first 5 at plus 100, so I went 3-10 yesterday. So you guys I wouldn't tail me if I were you guys, but yeah, Pepio's been really good on the road, and I don't believe for 1 second this Brave offense is going to put up a whole bunch of runs in 3 straight games. So if they do, so be it. But I'll take my chances with the Rays in the first 5 at plus 100.
Rays first 5 money line.
But my confidence level is about this right now after my last night that I had. So could care less. Yeah.
Braves on the road in Tampa. Padres Mets. I bet this one. Okay, Padres Mets. This is a Padres spot, guys. I thought about this one for a while. Let me get my notes up and all that. Let me get Padres up. I'm playing Padres. Oh wow, I didn't realize everyone was betting the Padres with me. You guys hate the Mets, man. Where the heck's my Padres graphic? There we go. Padres. I got it at plus 102. It looks maybe it's moved. Let me check.
No, just wait. It'll keep on going up. It's still plus money. Just keep on waiting. You'll still get better. You get plus 102s popping up now. Just wait till first pitch, guys. You'll get even a better number.
All right. So yesterday I said I was leaning towards the Mets. They didn't bet it. But how can you bet the Mets as favorites with Quintana on the mound right now? He's been terrible. I mean, he's been really, really bad, Quintana.
Padres can't hit left-handed pitching to save their life?
I mean, in the last 30 days, they're 10th, 14th, and 13th. In the last 14 days, 11th, 13th, and 13th.
And they've lost all those games.
They just saw a lefty yesterday in Minaya. Minaya much better than Quintana. I mean, Quintana's getting hit up by everybody. When's the last time Quintana... Okay. The last time Quintana pitched a game and let up less than 3 runs, May 16th, a month ago. He hasn't started a game where he let up less than 3 earned runs in a month. He's really, really struggling right now. Really struggles with righty bats. Padres, against a lefty, that coming off a game where they just saw a lefty.
4 straight games they'll be seeing a lefty now.
4? I have one. No, before Minaya. No, they saw righty before Minaya. Yeah, they saw. Oh,
Sears, Harris, Minaya. That's 1, 2, 3 lefties. Today will be the 4th.
Today will be the 4th. Okay, so Hogan Harris isn't in my data. That's why. All right. So seeing their 4th lefty in a row. By the way, they've gotten to a little bit. I mean, it's like they got to JP Sears. They hit the shit out of JP Sears. 10 base runners in 5 innings. I like it.
And what happened in that game? They needed a walk-off to win against a taxed Oakland bullpen. Yeah, if Padres are past, I was waiting to bet it because the line just keeps on going up. So I'll take my chances fading the Mets again yesterday. I knew I was dead in the water with the line movement yesterday. I'm hoping to reverse that here today. But yeah, Padres didn't use anybody in their bullpen yesterday besides Morihone. So they're all rested and available to go. So I agree with Sauce, but like I said, I have zero confidence in it.
I do have confidence in it. I think it's the right side. All right, next up.
JD Martinez triple.
Detroit. Oh, so Mandrake Falls said Verlander announced Al Arrighetti starting now.
Fuck. I guess I'll get my money back.
Is the line still? Let me see if the line's moved. Houston, Detroit, Houston. Wow. Is this right? I'm seeing Bet365 has this as a pick'em now. Is that right? Let me go to Tigers. No, I'm still seeing. Okay, so it is closer to a pick'em. Looks like I'm seeing -110, -120, -117. So the line is closer than this. So I'll run the poll at -120 because it looks like it's going to be somewhere in there. All right, so here are my thoughts on this one. Or actually, Toast has a bet on this. Oh, but your bet just got voided. So Toast had a bet, but it no longer exists. So
it's not going to void if I didn't play action on it, so it's not going to matter. But yeah.
So you were back in Flaherty. You had Tigers in the first 5, and Flaherty has been awesome. I don't know if you guys checked out his game logs. He's been pitching really well, but on the road at Houston. I mean, this year the Astros at home have been such a savage lineup that I couldn't actually get there as far as leaning towards the Tigers, because obviously I want to back Flaherty based on how well he's been pitching. But these Tigers bats, I don't trust them at all. I didn't trust them against Verlander. I don't trust them against Arrighetti. So, I mean, now that the line's evening out, part of me wants to be like, I don't care who's pitching. I'm getting the much better team at a pretty cheap price. So this is where I wanted to go originally. Now that there's a pitching change, I didn't bet it either way, but this is where I wanted to be, was Houston money line at the short price. I think we all expect Houston to be a little bit better in the second half of the season than they were in the first. And I mean, we know that they're much better than the Tigers. We're going to get close to a pick 'em at home. Yeah, Flaherty is better than Arrighetti, but other than that, the Houston bats at home are so much, same thing, copy and paste what I said yesterday. The Houston bats at home are so much better than the Tigers lineup. Houston also has the better bullpen. This is where I want to get. I don't have a bet on it currently.
Yeah, I like the Tigers here in this spot personally, with Arrighetti on the mound or not. But that Houston offense, I mean, has done what the last 3 days? I mean, they scored 3 runs against San Francisco twice, and then yesterday, I mean, albeit it was against Scooble, but I mean, they had 1 good inning, and then they put up 7 other times. So I'm not like, I guess I'm not just like super scared of this Astros offense, especially with Tucker out of it. And like Sauce talked about, Jack Flaherty on the road has been almost essentially lights out. On the road at Houston, on the road at Texas, Boston, Arizona, and Cleveland. I mean, that's 6-12, 18, 24 innings and 4 runs. 23 innings and 4 runs. He's not walking anybody. So I expect Jack to pitch well here today. So I was hoping that I was going to get a shot at Justin Verlander. I don't love the fact that I'm getting Spencer Arrighetti because he's starting to come into his own a little bit. I think he's starting to pitch a little bit better. But yeah, I would still lean Tigers in the first 5.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with a bet on Flaherty. Mine's a fade of the Tigers lineup, but I get it. But I didn't bet it, so. All right. Cincinnati, Milwaukee. Oh, man. I went back and forth on this one. I looked at this one for a while. I was really pumped about my
This is a Reds program. Always and forever. Thank you to every single person yesterday that helped me get me some money back and bet the Brewers, because thank you. That was the only thing that was my saving grace yesterday, was all my money in the world on the Reds. Thank you to everybody that bet the Brewers. Thank you.
So I was really fired up about the over yesterday because it was like a spur-of-the-moment decision. I played a really square line. Still got it easily. Yeah, it went way over. It was 7.5. It hit in like the 6th inning.
Oh, that's right, because of the shit at the end of the game. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was it. Cashed it with flying colors. So I was looking at this one. I've had some fun betting this series dating back to last year. Reds-Brewers games are usually fun. There's a couple people in our community that are Reds. There's a Reds fan and a Brewers fan. So I think this is the Brewers spot to bounce back. But How can you trust Bryce Wilson against the Reds lineup right now, the way they're hitting right-handed pitching? So as much as I want to be like, Brewers are going to bounce back here, I don't think I could do it. So, Toast, it sounds like you're on the Reds?
Oh, yeah. Reds first 5 plus 114. This lineup, this Reds team, man, it's something else. I only played the first 5 because yesterday, that situation, I was at a baseball game, but I watched it last night. I don't want to deal with that. Also, Diaz, 2 of the last 3 nights, and Fernando Cruz went 19 yesterday. So if it's into the back end of this game, the Brewers do have a very, very significant advantage. But as far as the first 5 is concerned, we have Andrew Abbott, who might be the luckiest pitcher in Major League Baseball. But, and there's a huge but behind that, this is going on 2 years where his external numbers are telling you that he's getting lucky and he continues to pitch well. So I'm just at a point where I almost forget the xFIP. I forget all the stuff that tells you that this guy's lucky, because regardless, he continues to go out there and pitch well. Over his last 7 starts, he's had 1 bad start at home against St. Louis where he gave up 7 runs. Everything else is 5 or 6 innings of 1 or 2 run baseball, essentially. Oh, yeah, Colorado, he gave up 3 in Colorado. So sorry. His last time he was in Milwaukee, he went 6 innings, didn't give up a run. The previous time before that, he got absolutely hit up, but I think he's a completely different pitcher than he is now. I think there's a huge advantage over him, over Bryce Wilson. Not to mention, we don't like the Brewers versus lefties nearly as much as we do against righties. So I think in the first half of this game, the Reds have all the advantage here. Like I said, I bet them at plus 114.
So people asking about, so Koenig is not a starting pitcher. He's Bryce Wilson. Opener. Yeah, he's the opener. Bryce Wilson, he's only going to pitch an inning 2 tops. So that's why we put Bryce Wilson up, because he's the primary pitcher. Anyway, so I agree with what you said about the Reds bats, and here's the thing. I don't trust Abbott on the road in Milwaukee like you do. But what you said about the Brewers is correct as far as the lefty-righty splits. They've been very good against right-handed pitching, and they haven't been good against lefties. But I still don't trust Abbott in this division rivalry. I guess I didn't bet it. If I would go right back here. Worked for me yesterday. I still think this is a little low, to be honest. This is 7.5. I think it's at 8.5. So I think this graphic's wrong. Let me look. Brewers 8.5. Yeah, there's even a couple 9s open. So yeah, this 7.5 is wrong. It's 8.5. So yeah, I would go right back to the over that worked for me yesterday, but I'm not gonna bet this one. It's over or pass for me. Next up, Yanks Red Sox.
Damn, did I not do a spreadsheet for Yanks Red Sox? Not one person told me that. Oh, I did. There it is. Okay, never mind.
All right, Yanks Red Sox in Fenway.
I'm just saying, if there was one game I forgot, you would assume people would say that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the one they would notice. So, where the heck is my freaking Yankees Red Sox graphics, man? Bro, I need to start making.
Damn gig now. What the hell's going on around here?
I need these kids to start working weekends. That's it. No.
Can't find my files. Your files are missing.
All right, I'll type it. I'm gonna type the graphic on the screen. Really, really deep dive here. Really in-depth handicapping. Yankees minus 1.5. I mean, because someone posted in the Discord this morning, the Yankees are 29-3 in their last 32 games, and 28 of them they've won by 2 or more runs. So
they're what?
I think it was 29-3 or something. You know what? I'll pull it up right now because I don't want to miss.
Well, they're 23-7 their last 30.
No, it was something with 29 was the stat he shared. So I want to get
probably the run line stat where they've won their last 30 games. They've won by the run line of 29 or 28 or 29 or something like that.
Okay. Since May 3rd, here it is. Since May 3rd, the Yankees have 28 wins. 27 of them they've won by 2 or more. So, yeah, Yankees minus 1.5. The entire planet's going to be betting the Yankees, and why shouldn't they? Maybe if it was like Stroman on the mound, I'd be down to take a shot with Boston, but Cooper Criswell hasn't even been pitching well. So, I look, these Yankees bats are going to cool off at some point, but until they do, until they fail to score runs in 2 straight games, I don't see any reason to doubt them. So Yankees, I'd lean towards over as well, but I already bet this. I'm on Yankees minus 1.5.
It's just a pass for me. So,
yeah, and as expected, I mean, everyone's betting the Yankees. 82%.
Good chance I'd probably bet Boston money line by myself.
By my lonesome. Next up.
Who pitches tomorrow for the Spankies?
I think it's Stroman, right?
Yeah, I'll probably be betting Boston today and tomorrow. And if they get swept, so be it.
I might be down to join you tomorrow, not today. All right, next up is Texas, Seattle. Totals all the way down at 7. There's even 6.5s open for this one. All right, so I went back to the well on this one. Same exact bet as yesterday. Mariners money line laid the juice. We're getting the much better team. The Mariners are much better than the Rangers. There's no really other way to phrase. Oh my God, my graphics, man. I'm going to freak out. All right, I'll type it. So there's no other way to phrase that. The Mariners are much better than the Rangers are this year. And we're still getting them at home with one of their aces on the mound. I got minus 125. I mean, come on. Mariners are much better than the Rangers. Eovaldi looks great. When's the last time Eovaldi made a road start? What year was it? It was April 10th. That's the last time he pitched on the road. April 10th. And let me just confirm that. Make sure I'm not just spewing bullshit up here.
It's April 20th.
April 20th. April 20th was the last time Eovaldi made a road start. He's made 5 straight home starts. Arizona, Detroit, San Francisco, Washington. If there's one spot the Mariners can hit, it's at night against righties. Better team. Kirby on the mound. Kirby's looked great. I'm not scared of Texas lineup in the slightest. I think I'm really comfortable with my minus 125 ticket, honestly.
Rangers are probably one of my favorite bets of the day. Rangers money line for me. I think Nate Eovaldi comes out here and puts his nutsack on the table. I kind of like Hunter Green yesterday. This game really reminds me of the Reds game yesterday, where you have Eovaldi with terrible back-to-back starts against Seattle, where he looks like crap, and now he's got to go on the road and face them after they just lost, facing George Kirby, who's finally got his shit together. He hasn't given up a run to the Rangers in 3 starts. His last 3 starts against the Rangers, like 20 total innings, 57 strikeouts, 1 run. There's no way in hell the Rangers do anything here today. Well, there's a reason that the total is 6.5. I think that we're going to see a pitching duel here today, and if you flip it over to that Mariners bullpen, it's not really in the best shape right now. I understand a lot of them are rested, but they've also been used a lot. You're not going to have Munoz yesterday. You're probably not going to have Munoz after going back-to-back nights with the injuries. I do trust the Seattle bullpen in general. It's not like me fading them and is like that, but I do think with a total being at 7.5, I'm glad that I have Yates and Robertson, Leclerc, those high leverage arms for Texas. So yeah, I bet Texas at plus 115 last night. It's like plus 109 now with the world on Seattle. I'm more than comfortable with my spot in Texas.
Well, our world is not on Seattle. It's pretty even. A lot of people like the Rangers out there that are, as far as the viewership goes, 47%, 39%. So viewers are pretty split down the middle on this one.
I did send this out last night, so.
True. Pirates, Rockies. Simple question. In what world? In what world are the Pirates minus 170 favorites on the road?
They're 170?
Hold on. Did I fuck it up?
No, you're right. I just had to
minus
look at
180 I'm seeing.
Good God. What?
In what world?
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, Rockies money line. They've already seen him.
Not to mention, Jared Jones, his production is definitely dipped. His first handful of starts, he was looking like the man. I'm not saying he's been getting crushed or anything. It's just we've seen him look vulnerable recently. You know what? I want to pull this spreadsheet up because I skipped over this game in like who cares about this series. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a second.
Okay. Pittsburgh bats suck.
Okay.
On the road, they suck.
They are bad.
Let's see. Game log versus left-handed pitching. 0. Paxton and Kikuchi, whatever. 0, 1, 0. Okay. So, okay.
The Rockies are so ass, though.
I know, dude. I'm like, damn it. I'm like trying to skip sections to find something that's positive.
So, okay. Jared Jones. I want to bring this up on the screen.
But you're right. There's no way in hell you can play. Even at -1.5, no way in hell you can pay that price at the Pirates.
Jared
Especially
Jones.
Go ahead.
Look at this. Against the Twins. 9 base runners in 5 innings. He pitched well against the Dodgers here. Struggled on the road in Detroit. Got crushed here. 5 earned runs. Giants gave him problems. Cubs got 3 runs off him. I mean, look at this. From here, let's go up. Last 4 starts. I want last 4 starts. Last 3 starts. Let's go.
152 on Caesars. I'm in.
Last 4 starts. 4.22 ERA, 145 WHIP, 484 expected FIP here. Let's see. Yeah. So, how is this a -170 favorite on the road with the?
This is ridiculous. Yeah. For the Cleveland game, no Jose Ramirez today. Paternity list. Looks like he's having a baby.
Oh.
So, actually, I think that's kind of a sneaky spot to play Toronto. I don't have to go back to it, but with him out of the lineup, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
When you were talking, honestly, I passed on that game. But as you were talking, when you finished it, I was like, that actually sounds like a sharp spot to play the Blue Jays. I was thinking that, but I have enough bets down where I didn't need to try it. All right, so Rockies money line -145 you're going with, huh?
Yes.
I'll put it up for me, too, because that's the only way I'd go here.
Especially considering the fact that they just saw everybody, literally everybody in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Bender, Holderman, Chapman, Molzinski or whatever. All of them went yesterday in Colorado.
Let's go.
Right?
I mean, I like my – I already
I'll
have –
do it for us. Don't worry. I did it.
No, I mean, I don't want to miss it. I don't want everyone to be celebrating in the Discord and me be the only one that doesn't have a ticket open. I don't want to be that guy. It sucks being that guy.
It does. It really
when everyone's like, yeah, like Rockies emojis, and you're just like.
I felt so. Somebody sent me a message. They were like, "Man, why didn't you post your Jazz prop?" And I was like, "Man, it's just so fast. It just comes and yeah, it's not like, yeah, things just happen in the Discord sometimes."
All right,
snowball effect.
Royals, Dodgers, and
I got one for this one.
I felt bad because I gave out. I try not to do this too. So on my ticket yesterday and on the show, I gave out Dodgers team total over 4, right? Which obviously pushed. And then I probably should have thought this through. Not everyone has Caesars. So a lot of people that tailed had the 4.5 and lost. And I didn't really even think that through. Usually I'm cognizant of, like, I try to post bets that, like, everyone's able to. And for some reason, it slipped my mind. So sorry about that for posting a bet that if you don't have Caesars, you weren't able to take. That was, I don't know. I usually don't do that. I don't know what I was thinking, really. So anyway, Royals, Dodgers. I thought this line was a little shorter than this. Let me make sure. No, -215. Okay, so it looks like it dropped. No, there's -220s, -225. So this is right. Yamamoto against Lugo. Lugo's been a beast on the road. Are you doing it?
No, Dodgers -1.5 for me.
Wait, what? I thought you were going to say Royals.
No question. Yeah. So, this is me continuing to bet on Yamamoto. Like I've told you guys, he is a definition of a bet on pitcher right now. Absolutely dominant. We just saw him go into New York against the Yankees and go 7 innings scoreless. His previous couple home starts, Miami, Arizona, Colorado, I'll give you, albeit not great competition, but he's mowing these guys down. This this Kansas City lineup isn't scaring anybody on the road. I think they are going to struggle severely with Yamamoto's pitch mix as well. I think he's with all these younger hitters and stuff, I really think Yamamoto is going to have himself a really good night tonight. On the flip side, or on the back end of that Dodgers team as well, you're still going to have Evan Phillips and Blake Trident rested and ready to go. I think that's all you're really going to need. Even if you needed Yarbrough for an inning or so, I think that's good. And then Lugo, on the other hand, yes, he has been fantastic for the Royals to start the season, but we are starting to see that regression monster start to catch up to Mr. Lugo. His last couple starts, 9 runs in 13 innings. He's striking a couple guys out, but the Dodgers hit him into another oblivion last year, because trust me, I was at that game when he played with the Padres, and the Dodgers put up 8 runs in the 3rd or the 4th inning. I can't remember because it was in San Diego, but it was the day after my mom's birthday. I'll never forget that game, but because the Dodgers scored 13. But my point being, the Dodgers hit him into another oblivion. I didn't play the Dodgers yesterday. I just didn't really like that spot for them. I love them today. I think they explode today. It's all or nothing with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers win this game 8 or 9-4.
So someone just said, they were saying in the comments, FanDuel just locked all. Let me check. FanDuel just locked all the lines. That might just be a FanDuel thing. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. They didn't just lock baseball though. They locked everything. Oh yeah. FanDuel is just not taking action right now. Let me see about DraftKings. DraftKings seems to be good. So whatever. I don't know. I'm not tailing you on that. It's okay. So all right. If you're going to play Dodgers -1.5, this is how I would tail you, though, based on what you said, because it's not even like I disagree with what you said. Right here, Royals team total under 3.5. Right? Because isn't that the path you see? Or you think the Dodgers are gonna tattoo Lugo?
I think, yeah, I do.
Really?
Personally, I'm not going to come over here and sit and tell
right. Make
but
a
in
hot
my
take.
head, in my head, they are. I mean, I understand it, but if you look at their last 10 games, just really quickly: 0, 6, 11, 2, 11, 4, 15, 2, 1, 4. So you're rather going to get the Dodgers, or you're going to get not the Dodgers. I think we're going to see the Dodgers tonight put up some runs.
Question: what's the score of this game after 5 innings?
4-1 Dodgers.
I'm adding this to my list. I have too many bets open, but I like it. Royals team total under 3.
I think that I didn't play it, but yeah, I would.
The Royals got the Royals got those 3 runs early and then didn't do shit offensively the rest of the game.
Took the words out of my mouth. And
they haven't really. I mean, we're coming up on a week now where it's like, okay, the Royals bats might be on the downslide here.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
Right.
I'm truly not worried about the Royals scoring. If I have to worry about my bet, it's me worrying about the Dodgers. Oh, and by the way, how did the Royals score yesterday?
2-run home run.
Salvador Perez, is he going to be playing today? No, probably not. So,
did you see him drop that foul pop up?
Yes.
He tried to do like an underhand thing, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? You're a veteran.
I don't think he's going to play today. I think he's hurt. So he left the game. I would assume they give him a day off. Maybe it is Salvador Perez. He doesn't really take days off, but I'd be surprised if he's in there today.
Last baseball game, and thank you for saving me from a loss. If you weren't watching the show yesterday, I was like, guys, let's bet the over. And I was like, don't do it. Don't bet a total in this ballpark. You told me to tell you not to do it the next time you. And I passed, and sure enough, it looked like the over looked good for most of the game. It went under. In the 3rd inning, it was like 3-1 or 4-1, and I was like, I should have bet it. Nope, missed. So it did stay under the total yesterday. So, yes, before everyone screams that Tommy Henry isn't starting, he's the primary pitcher.
Oh, my God, you guys.
So, watch. The comments are out the flood.
We already went over this on this show, too.
So, I'm aware Tommy Henry isn't pitching the 1st inning, but he is listed as the primary pitcher. So, he's going to be pitching the bulk of the game, or at least they plan for him to do so. I don't really know how I feel about the White Sox against lefties. I feel like they never see lefties.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm down to pull it up. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, they've only seen 2 lefties since June 1st. One of them being Diaz from the Seattle, and then Imanaga from the Cubs. And then previous to that, they hadn't seen lefties since May 21st, and that was Kikuchi.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure on the season that they've seen the fewest lefties of any. They've only seen 14 lefty starters all year. All year.
Yeah. Interesting. Yo, they're putting up a couple runs against lefty starters, though. I mean, they're not getting
Hold
blanked.
on. Let's look what you're looking at here.
They're not getting blanked. I mean, Corbin, Mitchell Park. I mean, the guys that have blanked them is Nestor Cortez and Imanaga.
Yankee
Everybody else are
Stadium,
putting
too.
up 2 runs against.
Nestor Cortez and Yankee Stadium's are different. Rodon, Kikuchi, Imanaga. There's like good names on this list too.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, and they're scoring runs. What's White Sox first 5 team total?
With 9, you might have to.
Oh my God, it's 1.5 at -120 on DraftKings. White Sox first 5 team total over 1.5 on DraftKings. That is my bet for this game.
I am not a Tommy Henry guy.
Done.
All right, so here's the bet Toast just said, in case you missed it. For White Sox first 5 team total over 1.5. I hear myself echoing.
Somebody's on the stream.
Yeah, it's Bill came for the UFC. I'm gonna mute. All right, White Sox first 5 team total over 1.5 for Toast. And why is Fetty still pitching well?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's not like lights out, but I mean, on the road at Seattle, 7 innings, 1 run.
Yeah, but his 3 road starts before that.
I get.
Oh,
that,
he's at home. No, he's on the road. He's on the road.
He's on the road, but again, on the road at Chicago, on the road at Milwaukee. I mean, that's not easy starts. I mean, the Toronto one, I don't give. Huh?
I don't think Arizona on the road in Arizona is easy either.
I don't think it compares to Chicago or these Milwaukee teams.
This is a pass for me. All right.
I don't think that they're gonna win or anything like that, like yesterday. But.
Yeah. All right, Toast. Enjoy your day, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk soon.
Have a good day, guys.
Let's talk UFC. And oh shit, I forgot. I gotta send the link to MMA Teller. One sec. All right, let me get him the link. Whoa, what is that going on in the background? All right. Copy link. Sorry about that. I should have sent this to him sooner. Just sent it to him. All right, you guys got some disagreements today, too. It's going to be exciting. I'm doing the community parlay at the end, by the way, if you guys want to hang out. Yeah, someone was saying FanDuel locked everything out, so I don't know. That's what people are saying in the comments. Someone goes, these guys' MMA picks are always awful. 2 weeks ago, didn't they like almost sweep? I think last week was the losing one, but
yeah, last week was bad. Oh well.
the week before that was really good though. I think I went 4-1 tailing. Let's see, is he coming? Usually he joins right away. Give him another minute. He has a bet on this first fight too, so I don't want to start without him because he was the one that asked to talk about this one.
Yeah, I put something in on it too.
You guys are on opposite sides. He took the over rounds. You took the under.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's also on the main card. There's 2 disagreements that you guys got.
Yeah, we had disagreements last week. He came out, I think, 1 on top of me.
All right. Damn, what the heck? Oh, hopping in now. Here we go. So I got, there's 6 fights on the main card today, right? Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
So we're talking about 7 on the main card, and then 1 extra. Here he is. No, you're good. See, what happened was I have Bill's email. I have to get your email, so I'm able to send him the invite, and it's a lot easier than sending it in an Instagram DM. So I'll get your email after this, and that'll make it easier next time. All right.
I had you in my headphones for a while. I was listening to all your baseball stuff and whatnot. I muted you for a second. I look over and I see DeGen on the screen.
All right. So this first fight, you guys are on opposite sides. So you had, one sec. Let me load I do have pick graphics for MMA. Just get them loaded real quick. Okay. So Teller, you were the one that requested this fight. Bill, well, he's not on, DGen's not on exactly the wrong side, but you took over 1.5 rounds. You took a shot at the plus money, right?
Yeah. I took a shot at it.
Go ahead.
Plus 225. I thought this would be a fun one to talk about. This is an interesting fight. You can argue that both of these fighters are not necessarily UFC caliber, but they're fun to watch in their own ways. This dude, Jeka Sergi, a wild, scrappy type of fighter. When he's in there striking, it almost seems like it's a street fight the way he throws. Comes off a nice knockout victory. It was a big upset victory for him there. And a lot of people are favoring that he's going to find the chin of Weston Wilson, which he's coming off 2 knockout losses. I would say that Weston Wilson is not a UFC caliber fighter, and there's going to be a serious threat that he gets knocked out once again. But to play devil's advocate, Jeka Sergi did show in his prior fight, the fight prior to his last, that he struggles grappling. Maybe somehow Weston Wilson can just make this a sloppy fight and maybe get this fight down to the mat a little bit, or just in a striking affair, maybe we just don't see that flash KO, and you're getting decent odds there, plus 225. I say it could be a little fun to kick the card off for those of you guys that like a little anxiety. You're sitting at the edge of your seat, hoping that Weston could finally make it past the first round there in the octagon.
It sounds like, based on what you said and looking at DGen's bet here, he parlayed. Ooh, I made this text too small. So if you can't read that, he parlayed the under 1.5 rounds with Almabayev money line. And we'll talk about the Almabayev fight in a couple more graphics from now, because you both have a bet in that one as well. But you're on the under, so it sounds like you think he's going to find his chin based on what he said.
It's definitely
no, I'm saying DGen took the under 1.5 rounds, so he thinks what you said about finding his chin, he thinks that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think either Sergi knocks him out quickly, or like Teller said, like he does have a grappling issue, and Wilson has a grappling edge on him. But those first two fights for Wilson in the UFC, got knocked out by Brito and knocked out by Silva. So he's really bad on the feet, and that's where the fight starts. So I think Sergi knocks him out. So I've got him inside the distance parlayed with Maness, and then I've got the under 1.5 parlayed with Almabayev.
Yes, I actually have. I forgot about that. I have another bet here for you. So he's got this fight in 2 combined bets here. So let me pull it up. All right. So the other one is he's got like an in the distance parlay. Here it is. So Sergi, am I saying that right? Sergi?
Yeah.
Sergi in the distance and Maness in the distance. We're not talking about the Maness fight. I don't have graphics for that one, but that's another one on the undercard. So those 2 parlayed in the distance is minus 115. All right. Let's get to the main card. As far as the our community is concerned, they're leaning towards Sergi, 38%, 24%. 26% of the people watching clicked over 1.5 rounds. A lot of people are. I didn't even know that many people bet the over/under in rounds. I don't think I've ever placed one of those bets. Whenever you post one, I always just don't tail that. Just doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, it's hit or miss.
All right, next up.
It could be stressful to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, it all depends on a bad ref. He lets too much punishment go or what. And then...
Next up, we got Quinlan versus Fuggett. Is that really his name?
Adam Fugit.
Oh, Fugit. My bad. I promise I wasn't trying to be funny. So actually, Teller, you have a bet on this one. I think Bill passed on this fight.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm on Quinlan here, and this line opened up essentially pick 'em odds. We've seen slight movement going towards Quinlan's way, but still, it's a very close fight here as far as the money line goes. I like to be on the Quinlan side of things based on the fact that he's shown some real durability in there. I know he comes in this fight off of a knockout loss, but if you remember that fight, he was fighting Danny Barlow, who's a highly regarded prospect, and he took a lot of damage in that fight, continued to walk forward, was looking to land his own shots, made it to the third round. I don't think that Fugat's going to be putting as much damage on him as he faced against Barlow, and I like the power that Quinlan possesses. He has very heavy hands, and we've seen Fugat finish quite a few times here. Fugat's been finished in 2 of his last 3 fights, knocked out by Morales, and then he was submitted in his last fight, also showing some deficiencies down in the mat. But I wouldn't really worry about the grappling too much or the submission threat. I think this is a fight where they're going to duke it out on the feet, and it's going to be a fun one. Anytime you have 2 fighters that are landed on significantly more than they land on their opponents, both these guys at a ratio where they're being landed on more than they're dishing out, it's going to be a fun fight. They're going to be throwing at each other heavily.
All right. Quinlan money line, minus 125, minus 130, whatever it's at. Bill, I know you didn't, I don't think you have a bet in this one, but if you were to bet it, what would you do?
Yeah, gun to my head, I would take Quinlan. I don't love the fight, but yeah, I think he has more power, better durability than Fugit. So, yeah, I would go with Quinlan.
Cool. And the community agrees. Viewership, 66% is on Quinlan. So we're a Quinlan program today. Let's move on to the next one, which is Almabayev. Okay, so you guys both have Almabayev here, but you have different methods. So DJ, why don't you go first? You have Almabayev by, one of you has decision and one of you has in the distance, and I can't remember who has what.
I have inside the distance.
Okay, so you have Almabayev inside the distance, so why don't you go first?
Almabayev is a strong wrestler. Johnson gives up takedowns, and he'll scramble, but he'll put himself into bad positions on the mat. I think over the course of the 3 rounds, Almabayev is definitely going to get into a dominant position, and I think he gets a submission, but I covered myself with just in case he pounds him out and gets a TKO. So submission was minus 110, inside the distance was minus 140. So I covered the both methods there.
Yeah, and that's still at minus 140. I checked when I was making the graphics, so you could still get that on DraftKings at minus 140. Now Teller has Almabayev, but decision, and that's at plus 200. So going a little bit riskier.
Yeah, a little bit of a riskier play because as we're going to get to in a little bit, I didn't want to go too chalky throughout. I thought I'd throw some plus value out here. I think we're all kind of in agreement that Almabayev should get the better of Johnson. He's a really highly regarded prospect. He's very talented. He should be able to get this fight down to the mat. But Jose Johnson, he looked pretty good in his last fight. I thought he had a nice bounce back victory in his last fight over Chad Henniglinger. He's going to be huge for this weight class. It's the first time he's fighting in the flyweight division as a professional. He's fought down there before when he was an amateur, but he's huge for this weight division. He was already a very big bantamweight fighter. He made weight. He was good on the scales yesterday, so it didn't seem to be too much of an issue for him there. If he could kind of dish out his own threat offensively, maybe we see Almabayev kind of go the route that he did in his last fight, where he kind of respected his opponent a little bit more so and kind of cruises his way to a decision victory. But all in all, he should be a step ahead of Johnson. But I'm kind of hoping that Johnson can push back a little bit and threaten enough to just make this go to the judges' scorecards.
Someone threw. So David Shytown in the comments, he said Almabayev by submission in first or second round at plus 125 on FanDuel. He likes Almabayev decision plus 200 for Teller. Almabayev in the distance minus 140 for DeGen.
And just to kind of to side with DeGen there, I'll just give a pretty interesting stat too. Just Johnson, 2 fights prior, he was submitted via twister, which he's one of like 3 fighters to ever been submitted via twister. He was submitted by Damon Blackshear.
That's not a good look. What is a twister?
So you're kind of on their back. You're kind of on their back, but you're also like coming around the side and you're cranking their neck. You're like spinning. You're basically flipping their spine.
I think
it looks very painful.
Having never been in the position myself, it looks painful. 61% of you guys say Almabayev in the distance. So a lot of people like this Almabayev guy. And I mean, he is 19-2. If my graphic's correct, he's 19-2. That is. All right.
Yeah, he's the biggest favorite on the card.
Is he?
No. Actually, Maness is a little higher than him, but he's minus 500. So yeah.
So now we're getting into okay. So actually, one more. The next fight is the one you guys disagree on, and I'm gonna bet it. So I'm listening, and I want to hear what you guys say. But on this one, Teller has Armfield, and Degen didn't bet this one. So Teller, you like Armfield on the money line, right?
Yes, I like Armfield here, 27 years old. Both these fighters are young, so we're going to see good, solid growth in their games here, fight to fight. Garrett Armfield, he loses his UFC debut, so some people may have questions about his grappling because that's exactly what Haston wants to do in this spot. He wants to get the fight down to the mat. His grappling is his strength. But take note, in his UFC debut, he took that fight on short notice, and it was upper weight class. Okay, since that loss to David Onama, he's been looking pretty good. Just had a solid decision victory over a true veteran of the game, Brad Katona. And if Armfield can keep this fight standing, I think he'll get the better of the striking. I feel pretty comfortable there. Also note that Brady Haston, before fighting on the Ultimate Fighter, he's a fighter that in his first 4 or 5 victories, the combined record of his opponents was like 0-25. That sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I mean, his record's very padded. Just has 9 professional fights, but he's not a bad fighter. He has good grappling, but he needs to get this fight down to the mat. And I say Armfield can avoid that.
All right, Armfield on the money line. Bill, I know this one wasn't on your ticket, but if you were to bet this one, gun to your head.
Yeah, I'm picking Armfield. He definitely could knock Highstand out because Highstand's really he takes a lot of shots on the feet, and so he's got some good grappling, but he's going to be standing there taking some bombs from Armfield early. So yeah, I would take Armfield, if you want to parlay him with one of these bigger favorites, get the number down a little bit. But yeah, I like Armfield.
Cool. So you guys both like Armfield. Community likes Armfield too. 67% to 33% on Armfield. Now we get to the last 3. Main 3 fights. You guys disagree on 2 of them. So this is one of your disagreements. It's Kwamba versus Lucas Almeida. So who would like to go first? To knowing the other guy, the other guys on the other side.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I took Almeida. I think the fight should be aligned a lot closer. Kwamba, he was a Contender Series guy. He's a good regional fighter. I mean, Almeida's nothing special either, but I think Almeida has a power striking edge. And he could even be a better grappler. Kwamba is kind of just like a generalist. So I took a shot on Almeida plus 160 when, I think the odds are a little too wide. So I took a shot on the dog.
I also saw you put just a few dollars if you're trying to get really risky on Degen's ticket. He has, I think, a half unit on Almeida and then 0.1 unit on Almeida by decision at plus 600 if you're trying to get really crazy. Now,
yeah, Kwamba looks pretty durable, so it could go to distance.
Now, speaking of Kwamba, go ahead, Teller.
So I like this kid Kwamba. I'm hearing really good things about him. He fights out of Vegas, trains with Dewey Cooper and whatnot, and there's a lot of big fighters, of course, training out of Vegas, right, the fight capital of the world. But a lot of fighters have had rave reviews about this kid Kwamba. He came up short on Dana White's Contender Series against, he had a victory over Mateo Vogel, but didn't get the contract on the show. Didn't get the contract there. Had another victory in the regional scene, and then he loses his UFC debut. It went to a split decision. I'm very high in the fighter that he lost to, in Balaji Oki, and I think Balaji Oki he's a much better striker. He's a better striker than Lucas Almeida, and I like the way that Timothy Kwamba weathered the storm early in that fight and kept it very competitive. He's so young, 25 years old, so we're going to see him look much better in the cage this time around. And then Lucas Almeida is a fighter that's 33 years old and is coming off a brutal knockout loss against Andre Fili. So there's question marks about the chin, and I think that they're gonna strike it out, and Kwamba's going to be a little quicker, a little fresher in there, and I think that his ceiling is higher than Almeida's ever was.
Damn it, the community split on this one. I want to bet this. All right, so how about this? Teller, if you were to pick a method of victory.
If I were to pick a method of victory, I'm going to go with the KO because I think there's going to be a high pace in this fight. Like I said, they're going to be striking it. They're going to be throwing heavy shots towards each other's chins. And Lucas Almeida just got slept brutally, like I said, by Andre Fili. He's up there in age, and he's a longtime kickboxer, striker type of fighter. So he's taken a lot of damage throughout the years. And I like what I've seen from Kuwamba offensively. I'm going to say he gets the knockout.
So question, if it goes the distance, do you still think Kuwamba wins?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He
All
can
right.
easily win a decision as well. Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about putting a few dollars on Almeida decision at plus money and putting a few dollars on Kuwamba by knockout at plus money, thinking like I'll finish up. But if you think Kuwamba can win the decision also, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, no, because in his last fight against Balaji Oki, who I'm very high on, Kuwamba was looking good all throughout that fight. Even late in the third round. I mean, this dude's there for 15 minutes. He could easily win a decision.
So you guys split on this one. Let's get to the next fight, and you guys both have this on your ticket in agreement here. You're both on John's. So whoever wants to go first, I would imagine you're both on for similar reasons. So go ahead, whoever wants to.
I'll hop on this here. Miles Johns, let's just get straight to the point. The main reason why I'm on him here, it's a factor, man. Age is a major factor when you're talking MMA. If you go through the stats, I don't have the stats in front of me, but when you're talking the age discrepancies, Douglas Silva de Andrade is days away from turning 39 years old. I believe like 2 or 3 days away from being 39 years old. He always looks like the weight cut is brutal for him, but he makes weight, but he's so shredded, has no body fat on him. And he struggled a little bit with his cardio before. We've seen him slow down late in fights. Miles Johns is a fighter that I really feel has stepped it up in his last couple fights. He's changed gyms recently. That could have something to do with it. But he's a fighter that's looked really good in his last 2 fights. The victories over Dan Argueta and Cody Gibson. And just note real quick, if anyone sees the no contest on the Dan Argueta fight, that was a fight that he was in complete control of. He basically dominated that fight. And why they overturned that fight, just a couple weeks after they overturned that, they changed the ruling. Whereas if the banned substance that he took is no longer banned. You know what I'm saying? So like just 2 weeks later, that fight would have been a legitimate W. So I wouldn't look too much into the no contest and for the thing that he took. It was some type of Turnaball or something, an oral steroid, but they're allowed to take it now. So I like what I've seen from him. I think he pushes the pace with the grappling. He has heavy hands, and I think that his game is starting to really take some strides forward.
D-Gen, I'm guessing you are in agreement with what he just said.
Yeah, I'm on John's as well. He comes from a wrestling background, but he likes to box. He's pretty good at it. What impressed me, he's been on a nice run, and I picked against him last fight against Cody Gibson, and he looked impressive, and he used his wrestling. So, like Teller said, D'Andrade, he's old. He is shredded, so like he can't keep a good pace for the 3 rounds. So Johns' cardio isn't the best, but it's better than D'Andrade. So I like Johns a lot.
I'm telling. I put Johns up for me too. You guys are both on it. Me too. I'll be betting Johns. Our community's pretty split though, so there is a lot of people watching that like is Andrade. That's how you say it, Andrade. So there is a lot of people that like Andrade in this one. Someone commented, he goes, Johns is going to be arrested for assault on the elderly. All right, so last fight, and you guys disagree on it. On a disagreement in the main event. That's fun. All right.
We disagreed last week.
I'm having some deja vu here.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. So here we go. So who went first on the disagreement last time? Almeida went first. So why don't you go first? You're on is it Tyra? Is that how you say it? Tyra?
Tyra.
Yes.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Tyra. I'm very high in this kid, just 24 years old, very high fight IQ, mixes things together very well. He could strike with the best of them in this division, but loves to mix in his grappling. Alex Perez is a fighter that's been subbed 5 times out of his 8 losses. 72% of his losses have come by way of sub. I'm favoring Tyra to pull a sub off in this fight. I think he gets the fight down to the mat. He's shown urgency to get fights down to the mat, where when he has an edge there, like I said, he has high fight IQ, and he'll close the distance and he'll get the fight down there. So I'm kind of banking on him doing that. But even if he struggles to get it down there or it just doesn't play out like that, I'm very comfortable with him at range in a kickboxing fight. And Alex Perez is dangerous there, but overall, I like what I see from Tyra. I'm very high on him.
So the community seems to agree with Tyra too. Bill, you took 2 shots here. I'm going to put it up. He's got Paris by decision at plus 550 for a small stab, and then you got Paris to win the fight, plus 180. So go ahead.
Yeah, I like Perez. Tyra is definitely a hot prospect, but this is going to be the toughest test that he's faced in the UFC. Perez is, basically top 5-ish flyweight, and this is his third fight since March. So he had a long stretch where he bad weight cuts, injuries, all that, where his career he wasn't fighting. But now I think he's back. He's in tune. Looked great in his last fight against Mateus Nicolau. I think he has a boxing edge over Tyra. Tyra's a very good grappler, dangerous, and like Teller said, Perez has been submitted a bunch of times. So if Perez offensively wrestles, I'm going to be nervous because he's going to put himself in some bad spots. But I think he can use his wrestling to keep it on the feet. And I favor his striking over Tyra. So I'm taking a shot on the dog.
I think I'm going to side with you on that one. But, all right, so here's what I decided. I think I'm tailing Teller in this one. I think I'm going with Kwamba in that first one. But I like the dog here in the last one. So I'm siding with Teller in the first disagreement and DGen in the second one. That's what I'm going to go with. But I don't know shit. I'm just going based on what these guys say. But you know what? Since we started doing these live streams, I've been into it because now that if you get a preface, to the fights, like when they're on, it's like, oh shit, yeah, I remember they were talking about it kind of gets me into it. So I've enjoyed betting the UFC since we started doing these live streams. So I'll be in. I'll be throwing wagers down. All right.
Yeah, it's fun to have disagreements. You never want. I mean, you get on these streams, everybody's just piggybacking everybody else's picks. So, a little bit of disagreement.
The best. And I mean, I say this all the time, but in the sports betting industry, you're never going to make it if you're not okay with being wrong sometimes. And so so everyone's so afraid of oh, I don't want to look like I'm stupid, but it's we're all going to lose bets. So being able to have disagreements and battle it out in a fun way, I mean, that's what makes the best content, honestly. Disagreements are the best. I wish we had disagreements on every single baseball game on the slate, honestly. They're the best. Obviously, it never works out that way, but... So, yeah. Thanks for joining, guys.
I agree, man. It's fun.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining, guys. If for viewers, I'm going to do the community parlay, but before these guys bounce, make sure you give them a follow. The MMA Teller, MMADegenerate, that's their names on Twitter. Teller's really active on Instagram. That's where I met him, was on Instagram. But I think that's both
Instagram and YouTube as well. I'm on the tube as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. So he has a YouTube channel as well. But I have both these guys tagged in my social media, to Twitter, and I tag Teller in the Instagram story. So make sure you show them some support. Appreciate you guys taking the time to come on. And, yeah, enjoy your Saturday, guys.
All right, take it easy. Good luck.
Later. All right, viewers, let's do a quick community parlay and we'll call it. All right, so we got Twins money line, Cubs money line. You guys like with Imanaga? You guys like Cleveland at the plus money, and you guys like the Orioles definitely. Cast your votes. Cast your votes.
Sorry, I'm still camping out of here. I gotta.
Oh no, it's cool. I mean, you can hang out if you want. I don't care. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a second. What do we got?
What? When do you upload your content throughout the week? UFC is interesting because there's not. I feel like there's not in football. Is it also a sport that's once a week? But there's a market for it on Tuesday. You can upload a football video on Tuesday. People are down to watch. And I've noticed that there's not much UFC content being talked about on Tuesday, and it's a market that should be. It should exist. Get on the lines early, and I feel like it's not as popular yet. It's probably growing, though.
Yeah, I think it's definitely growing. I mean, what I try to do is I do a full card prediction video. I try to get that up the Sunday prior to the event, so 6 days in advance of the card. But like you said, I'm trying to compare it to other sports, but I know when it comes to MMA, there's a lot of line movement. If you're late on these lines, they change rapidly. So you definitely want to get in early, and a lot of people will give you a hard time. If I post certain videos on a Wednesday or Thursday, they're like, oh, come on, you got to get these up earlier in the week. The lines are completely changed. But I want to start doing a lot more stuff with the channel, just like reaction videos and all that type of stuff too. So I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes, but I'm gonna have a variety of content coming. Just, in regards to MMA as a whole.
Cool. Yeah, you got to try to find the balance, I've noticed, because if you upload early, chances are you'll beat the line movement and get the best of the number, right? That's the benefits of uploading early. But if you upload, let's use NFL as an example. If you upload an NFL video for a Sunday game on Monday, you'll get a few views, but then Sunday morning when everyone's watching, you'll be at the bottom of the search rankings because the new videos will beat you. So it's like trying to find the balance of like, I want to get it early enough where I get good lines, but I don't want to be too early where I miss the search ranking, like SEO. So it's a dangerous game to play. I've gotten pretty good at it though.
Oh yeah, you're one of the best out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this the YouTube algorithms. I've got it down. I found the best way is I've been trying to do like both. I have parts of my content where you could catch the early lines, like in the Discord on the website, and the live show is like, hey, if you didn't place a bet yet, and we'll tell you what to do now, but if you follow me, you should already have a bet down in this game, type of a thing. That's
smart there.
That's what I've decided is the best strategy. So like my people that follow me, when the live show starts, they already know what most of the bets are already. But the people that are watching, we'll give recommendations on. If you haven't bet, this is what we'll do.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, cast your votes.
All right, guys, man. I'm gonna head out of here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I get out of here, man. You just X
out of the OBS Ninja control room browser.
Okay, it'll take me right out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take care, man. Have a great weekend.
Later. All right. Looks like you guys really like the Giants like that. Oh, you guys want the song? All right, I'll play the song. I'll play it right now while you're voting.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We come unite, making a parlay. Yeah.
There you go. Got your song. All right, so it's gonna be Giants. You guys really like the Giants, man. What is wrong with y'all? Toast got you guys. You guys like the Giants. I think the Giants are trash. All right. Do not trust that team. I don't trust the Angels either, but I'd go over in that one. Next up, we got Astros money line. You guys liked. Who'd you guys like in Reds Brewers? Reds. Yankees, Red Sox. Definitely like the Yankees. I can almost guarantee Yankees are going to win this poll. And then Mariners. This poll is probably going to be 2 seconds long because you're all going to vote Yankees. But go ahead, cast your votes. We need the community parlay song. Where's MLS? Scoop had his daughter's soccer game or something today. I forget what he said. I'm really bad at that. He texted me earlier in the week and said he couldn't do it, and he gave me a reason, and I probably should have listened to what the reason is. But all I heard, my brain registered no MLS on the live show. That's all I got out of the text. So yeah, he was doing something today. I forget. Same with Prop Beaver. He's in the city or something. So I'm on my own. But it's all right. It's how it started. I could Dougie this by myself. All right, next up. I'm putting Rockies and Pirates up because I think the community was split on that one. And the last one is Diamondbacks money line. All right, cast your votes. Final leg of the community parlay. Really? You guys are all on the Dodgers with Lugo? Lugo's been so good on the road. I'm not saying I think the Dodgers win too, so I'm not saying I disagree with you. It's just the way Toast was so confident, and you guys in the comments so confident on the Dodgers. Lugo's been a beast on the road this year. Look, like I said, I think the Dodgers win, so I'm not saying that's the wrong pick. I'm just surprised at your confidence. That's all. A tank by knockout. Someone asked by Gervonta Davis. A little frustrated with that. I mean, Tank became a superstar right like a few years ago. Fought Santa Cruz, then he fought Ryan Garcia, and it was kind of like, and then I feel like we've reached the point where like, why haven't we seen him fight like Devin Haney? Or I don't know. I hate when a fighter's career does this as far as their competition, and then randomly is. And I don't mean to shit on Martin, the guy he's fighting, but I don't know. There's a lot of big names that could fight at 135. I mean, I don't know. It's Dodgers, by the way. Dodgers money line. So can someone share the odds of this parlay with me, please? I'm up by my lonesome. Gab says take the plus 140 either boxer to get knocked out. Tank's not going to get knocked out, Gab. Gab makes the playoffs, and all of a sudden she's just her confidence level through the roof. She's talking like she's the best gambler in the world. Plus 491. I'm so sharp. Plus 491. All right, so the community parlay today is Orioles money line, Giants money line, Yankees money line, Dodgers money line plus 491. I don't have an underdog pick 'em, but if you want an underdog fantasy account, the promo code is BET. That'll get you a deposit bonus. So you deposit money, they'll give you free money. That's underdog fantasy promo code BET. Thanks everyone for watching. Gab, did you see it? You see it, Gab? This is what it's all for right here. I feel like to win the first one of these is going to be like an not an heirloom. What's the word? Where it's like a piece of something valuable, like a memorabilia. No, I feel like the first one is going to be something, right? Like you won the first one ever. I mean, in 3 months there'll be 12 of these out, one every week. But the first one. Kyle, you ever go on vacation? No. I'll go on vacation when I have 1 million subscribers. Now I'm going to, I just ski in them, invited me out to Vegas in August. So I'll be in Las Vegas, I think mid-August, like with like ski and some of those Wager Talk guys and a bunch of people that from YouTube. So I'll be out in Vegas in August, but that's my first vacation in like 2 years. Yeah. When I have 1 million subscribers, I'll be broadcasting from everywhere. But until then, I got work to do, man. Job's not done. Heirloom tomato. All right. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for participating in the league this week. I'm going to work on the league tomorrow. So next week when the new week starts up, like I should have the graphics looking a lot more sharp and everything should be automated. The standings, I did a lot of the standings by hand. It's going to be automated. So I have a lot of some more code to write, some more equations to write. But starting Monday, second week of the league, a lot of people missed on it this week. And so there should be significantly more people. So thanks everyone for participating in that. I think it's going to be really fun moving down the line. I think that's going to be a lot more fun than people realize. So, all right, Cincy Kid, did you answer your email, bro? I answered your email. Cincy Kid, I get in you need to get in there by Monday to get in next week's league. All right, cool. All right, everyone have a good day.